Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Romance Nights. We are your hosts, Kolleen.
And I'm Marjorie. For tonight's episode, we have USA Today best-selling author and lover of anything book-related, Willow Aster. She loves nothing more than writing the day away. She writes about characters that beat all odds and the kind of unconditional love that endures. Welcome to the Unfiltered Romance Nights podcast, and we are so excited to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your newest release, Wicked Love. We both love it. So,
Yay.
And before we chat about your books, especially Wicked Love, we have a few questions to kind of get to know you and your writing career journey.
Okay. Now, how did you start your career as an author, and what made you start writing?
I have written as long as I can remember. I've just always loved it. And it started out being angsty poems and songs. But then I did finish my first book in like 2002, and it was rejected. And it wasn't any good anyway. But I kept working on my craft, and I actually started in the fields. I published that second, but I started that years before I published it, and then ended up publishing True Love Story first. And it took off. That first book took off. It's kind of been like this over the past like 12 plus years. But it's all going up. I feel like it's had a steady momentum for the last year, which I'm grateful for. So
nice.
That's amazing. At least, you're like getting steady going up.
What I've always wanted is to just get steady instead of the highs and lows.
Yeah. So, like on your downtime, if you ever have a downtime, do you have any hobbies that you do?
Well, I have two kids. They're grown. Like our son is in college and our daughter's married. And I just love hanging out with them any chance I get. And we love to watch shows together, or play games. We sing together, like coffee shops, church, different places like that, our barn. So that's always fun when we get a chance to sing together.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Hidden talent.
I would. Yeah, right? Yeah, we don't have the voice to sing in this house.
That's okay.
Now, if you have time to read, who would be your go-to authors?
I always read. I co-published with Taryn Fisher and Laura Pavlov. Anything they read, I will always write, or vice versa. Anything they write, I will always read. So many. I have so many that I love to read. Catherine Cowles. I'm reading one by Lynn Painter right now that I'm loving. I will read anything.
Now, do you usually just read like contemporary romance, or do you branch off into other genres?
I really do like it all. Like I love thrillers. I love fantasy. I love contemporary.
Depends on the mood, right?
We love it all.
No, Marjorie doesn't.
I'm like, I still do like, contemporary here and there. If I need a break from like super dark, because usually like if it's extremely dark romance, I usually get into a book slump. So I think, okay, I need to get something, like, even if it's just a quick book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it dark too. I like to pick it up a little here and there.
Yeah. You know what? But lately I find that I used to just be able to read dark romance over and over and over. Now I'm like, okay, if I read one, I got to take it back. I need something nice where everybody is just nice and very little, no drama.
I've been that way more too. Where I need to break it up a little.
Yeah.
I've been noticing, like, because I would do dark, and then I'll be like, okay, I need something. But sometimes it's hard to, like, when you get in a book slump, it's just like hard to get out of it. And it's like, okay, well,
Yes.
I mean, I won't read for a while, so I'll just watch something like that I've watched before, like binge watch something. And usually that gets me out. So with regard to like spicy scenes, how easy is it to put spicy scenes on page for you? I mean, we get a good amount of like answers for this one. So
it used to be a lot harder than it is now. I think because I was trying to be so careful. I didn't want to offend anyone. I didn't want to say all the words, you know. And I've just kind of made my peace with that over the last few years. And it has helped because it's made that process easier.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it. I remember, oh my gosh, probably back in the early 2000s, I said, I'm going to write a book. Mind you, it never happened. I bought these books, how to write love scenes, and I really thought I was going to do like what is it, for dummies? Like that kind of thing. I had no clue.
What you learned, so I can come in.
I was like, oh, I can't do this. But, you know, that was before I joined this whole world. I mean, back then I was reading like Lisa Kleypas. So.
Yes. Yeah. I know. It has definitely, indie books have definitely taken it to another level, right? With the sex scenes.
Do you think social media played a lot of that? Because I feel like without the social media, we wouldn't have known about all these indie authors.
Definitely. Yeah. First, well, not first, but Goodreads, when Goodreads first came out, that was huge. And then Facebook was such a huge place to find out about books. Or if you got on a great blog, like it would tell you so much, or it could change an author's life. Like for me, when Maurice read my book, I don't know if you even know who she is, but she was huge back in 2012, 2013, and a few years beyond that too. But like she read my book and it changed my life that weekend that she talked about it. And so it could happen that easily. Or Facebook, you could be in a group and someone would talk about it, and then you would just see sales from that alone just go up. So yeah, it's changed a lot.
I think like social media is kind of like almost, it's like almost free marketing, because like a lot of people now are like consuming so many books that, you get out there, they go viral, and your book is just gonna go there, So
it's true.
When you're writing, do you have to set yourself a specific schedule? Like I know I'm gonna write from 9 to 5, or can you only write when like the spirit moves you?
I try to write every day, usually not Sundays, although sometimes I do, but I try to get a certain word count in every day. Not like right now, my dad is visiting, so I had good intentions of getting it. Like the last time he visited, I got up at like 3 every morning and wrote because I just had to. And this time I've just not had the energy to do that. So I'm behind now. So when he goes home, I will have to keep up, catch up. So then it's just, or if I have a day where I do more words than I was planning on, then I can kind of take it easy the next day or whatever. So, yeah.
So this one would be kind of like, it's either just going to be like a good thing or an awkward thing, but how do your friends and family feel about like your books, and have they read them
So, my mom passed before I told, I started publishing before she passed away, and then I didn't tell her. I didn't tell my dad then, like, until 2 or 3 years after I started publishing. And there are still there are still people in my family that don't know. Friends too, that just have no idea. And then there are a lot that do, and they're proud of me, but I think a lot don't read them. And it's
really?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, it's okay.
They're missing out.
And it just has been a weird thing. Like, my husband is so proud of me. Like, he'll tell the whole wide world, and they don't care. Just, because it feels like it makes strangers so uncomfortable. And he'll be like, my wife is an author. She's, he'll be like, she's in the top 100 on Amazon.
I love that.
They don't care.
We love that. If he says it to like a random person and then they just like start buying and then it, that's,
you never know.
We love a supportive, spouse.
Yeah.
He's so sweet about it.
Okay. So let's discuss the newest release, Wicked Love, which is part of the Single Dad Playbook series. And for any new readers, should they start with, I believe it's Mad Love, right? Was that the first one?
Yes,
Mad Love. Or can it be read as an interconnected standalone?
It can, yes. Like you would totally be able to follow what's going on. I think for me, I like reading from book one.
Yeah.
But there have been plenty of stories where I come in later and it's fine. But yeah, you can do it both ways.
Yeah, I think, I read it and it's not like, you need, it's interconnected, but it's not like you need all the other books to read it because, sometimes they'll do like a bigger plot to like tie the whole thing. But,
right. Yeah. If you care about knowing ahead of time who someone ends up with, or if you don't want any spoilers or whatever, then read book one. But
it's nice to see them though, kind of like, little cameos in there. Then you're like, oh, okay, now I have to go back and like read the other books. So I know, like, yes, I know who they kind of end up with, but you don't know the story.
Yeah.
And in this book, we had a few cameos from my other series, the Landmark Mountain series. Okay. So, yeah.
Oh, really?
Throwing that.
Okay. I'm trying to think who they were.
I was wondering about that. Like, I looked through your reading list. Like, I'm nosy that way. It's like, do I need to like read all from the beginning? And I was like, oh, well, you know what? I'll just see. And then usually you'll go back like if I remember like the names and stuff, like there's got to be like a story or something.
Yes. So all the dads have a book and there's just one left that comes out in July. And we talked with Ruby and Callum in this book when they're in Landmark Mountain. So they have their own book too.
Okay.
So there's going to be one more book in the series So the beginning of the book gives like a detailed note about, the MMC's daughter. What was your inspiration for Bowie's daughter, Becca, to have, the Down syndrome?
I have a Becca in my life and she is a lot older now. She's in her 20s. But when she was, I met her when she was probably 10, I would say. So she's a little bit older than Becca still. But just so full of personality, sunshine, and just a joy to everyone who got to be around her at that age too. So I just, I wanted a character like that.
Yeah. She's adorable.
Yeah.
It was really fun to write her.
And I hope that, I don't think that this is ruining it if anyone hasn't read it, but it was so sad to me. No, I didn't cry or anything, but like the pictures that she had, I won't get into too much detail. Yes. Like in the beginning, I was like, oh, and I'm just so glad that everything ties together at the end. But it's just, kids are just one thing. Like when you see or feel or hear their emotions, and then, it just brings out a lot. Yeah. So I love that. She was the bright light in the book.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Now, this is just a selfish question. Do you have any plans? And maybe you already have, and I just don't know. But for a book for Bowie's brother, what is his name? Is it Tobias?
You're the first person to ask that, and I kind of wondered if anyone would want more of him, because I thought he was intriguing, but nobody else has asked for it, so maybe.
I wonder if they're like, like if they know that you have one more book in the series and be like, oh, maybe it's that one, like not thinking anything of it, and then be like, oh, where is Tobias?
Yeah. Well, I've also wondered about a spinoff, like Bowie's family in Austria, because I went to Austria at the beginning of the year, or a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. Oh, this year's flown.
Right.
So I really wanted to write a story about Austria. Yeah. So I kind of tried to leave some open-ended things with his family, even like his cousin.
Yeah. So it's a maybe we will get some in the future. No pressure, but maybe.
Yes.
If you could pick, what would be your favorite scene in Wicked Love?
Well, I love anytime the guys have a dancing number. They set me up. And the wrestling scene.
Okay.
If you know, you know.
I was thrown. Oh God, I never want to ruin this for anyone, but I have to hope that people listening to this have read it. I was not shocked, but I was pleasantly surprised with when they shared the room. I did not think that was going to happen, and I was like, "Oh yes!" But that was one of my favorite scenes because why not?
I did really enjoy writing the whole wedding weekend.
Yes.
We'll put you on a spot for a little bit, we haven't. But if you were asked to use 3 words to describe your books, what would they be?
Swoony, quirky, heartwarming.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think to me, when I finished this book, I said the best way to describe this book is like a Hallmark movie with the spice that we've always wanted.
Yeah. The Hallmark movies we wish.
Yes. You get one kiss at the end. I'm like, I waited for this.
Yeah.
It's always that. It's like, I feel like that's how they do it. It's like just one kiss. That's it. And you're like, wait, what? Like, I feel like there was more going on when they're bantering,
They're just so proper.
Right.
On them. I want to see the real nitty-gritty and extra stuff.
Yeah. I think we're getting those in Netflix. We're getting the Hallmark movies that have the spice now.
Yeah.
We're getting them there slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Which I love. I'm happy to have that coming out.
I think I feel like that 365 Days movie opened that up, because I was surprised when I saw that pop up on new on Netflix, and I'm like, okay, well, I know they have rated 18 on Netflix, but not this much,
Yes.
So I feel like they've opened that door to,
anything goes,
right? Like anything now. I mean, Prime Video. I think Saltburn. I was like,
oh, I didn't see that.
Yes,
that was you what?
I watch it because I was curious. You would see it on clips on TikTok. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it because it's all over. And I was like, at the end, I was like, wait, what did I watch?
No, not when you want to watch with your kids, even if they're adults.
No, I'm gonna skip that.
I was like, oh, okay, okay. Even the ending, I was like, not expecting that ending.
Yeah,
I heard about it.
Yeah,
no. It was entertaining.
It was entertaining, I would say that. But that I finally got that, meme or whatever clip that they talk about Jacob. Yeah. I was like, oh, now I get it, what they're talking about. I get it. I was like, it was surprising to see that, but I was just like, I get it.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I heard about that one scene and I was like, no, I'm going to pass.
I remember like doing the 30-second forward.
Yeah.
It was more than 30 seconds. I was like, come on, like, let's do that. Not do this. Like, just 30 seconds.
That's funny.
It was more than 30 seconds. I would say that.
No,
It was very,
It was
cringe.
pushing it. Like, I feel like it pushed more than 365, and I thought that was pushing it, but okay.
Anywho. So out of all of your books, which one would you say was the most difficult to write?
Probably In the Fields. That was, I worked the longest on that one.
I'm curious. As an author, like, do you have, like, when you kind of like plot a book or like, decide, do you have like this is my word count goal that you want to achieve, or you just kind of like write until you get the story out?
Like for the whole book?
Yeah.
Yes. I do try to shoot for a certain word count. And if I go a little bit above or a little bit below, it's okay. But yeah. And then, sometimes just figuring out the pacing to get to that can be tricky. So yeah, I used to be more like, well, if this is shorter, it's okay. But now I do try to get them to a certain amount.
So for any readers that want to dive into your books, which book would you recommend to start with?
There are multiple starting points with me. I feel like a good place now, there still would be several starting places. Autumn Nights could be, or Unforgettable, which is book 1 of the Landmark Mountain series. But there's a connection with Autumn Nights. And then could also do Mad Love. That's book 1 of Single Dad Playbook.
Okay.
But yeah, you can really start anywhere.
Book 1 of any series?
Yeah. Autumn Nights. Summertime actually comes before Autumn Nights. But that one is a little bit, it isn't a love triangle, but it almost seems like it is going to be. So it's kind of like, who is she going to end up with?
Okay.
Yeah. How many books have you written?
Yeah. Go ahead. Love triangles are like difficult. I think like they're always a hit and miss kind of.
Yeah. And there's no like cheating. There's no simultaneous that she's with both. But there's 2 fellas.
There's one author I will read a love triangle because for some reason she always picks the right one in my mind. But there was a book with a love triangle, and I don't know, she ends up with nobody at the end. I said, I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this.
Is it a romance?
I looked into it. I said, I got to read all the reviews first. And I was like, what? No, can't do it.
I don't think it would be considered romance if she didn't end up with anybody.
No.
She didn't. Did she?
I mean, if she didn't end up with anybody, it's not romance. I don't think it is.
Yeah. I mean, she chose herself.
Well, I mean, in the romance genre that we read, there's always
there's a happily ever after. That's
you choose somebody or somebody's,
Well, I guess it was a happily ever after in the sense that she chose herself. Well,
okay,
that's why I won't read it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no, I don't think so. No, if there's no winner at the end, there's not.
Some like women's fiction. That could be, where she chooses herself.
No,
but if it's under the romance genre, then they're supposed to.
Exactly. I want a billionaire to come save me in a book.
I think we all want that.
I know.
I mean, I'm not saying anything. It was like I don't think anybody wants the poor MMC to say no. I don't.
No, that's called real life.
Right? Like, we're trying to get away from the real life. But,
Yeah.
Oh boy, I know.
Sorry, we keep segueing.
I know. Well, that's what happens when you get me and Marjorie. We go this way sometimes. Out of all the couples, though, I know you're going to tell me you love them all, but can you pick one couple to be your favorite?
Well, after Reckless Love, which was the book before this, Elle and Rhodes, I hadn't said any couple was my favorite since In the Fields. And then I wrote, and that was like 12 years ago. And I really have not said that about every couple. It's just always been that book. But Rose and Elle, they got to me. I really loved them. And I had a hard time coming out of being done with them. You know, it's just like, had so much fun writing them. I loved writing so many of these characters, but I did get hooked on them.
Oh.
Does it take you a while if you're like hooked on those characters, that couple? Does it take you a while to like, okay, well, now I have to like, I have another book to get out. Like,
yeah. And even like in the group scenes in Wicked Love, which I ended up, by the time I got immersed with Poppy and Bowie, it was like, okay, I'm in. But initially when I was trying to get there, I kept like Rose and Elle just kept kind of making their way in the scenes. I'm like, okay, you gotta step back, people.
They're like, no, we're the star for a while.
They want to still be talking.
Maybe novella, I guess.
I fell for their parents too. They have a cool love story. So I'm like, do I need to do their?
Maybe. Because then they'll like include themselves in that. Like in some scenes, like, we're back.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could turn any book into a movie, like one of your books, which one would you choose and why?
Some of them I feel like would be better Netflix series. Like Single Dad Playbook would be a fun Netflix series. True Love Story would be a good movie. Autumn Nights would be a good movie, probably. There are a few.
So if Netflix ever see this or listen to this, we want the Single Dad Playbook.
Yes.
It would be fun. You know, I don't think
How many seasons? How many books are there?
Oh, 5.
There could be 5 seasons.
There you go.
There you
I
go.
would take 3 and be happy. But
we want the 5 because we don't want anybody to be like left out.
Right.
Well, we would still have romances going, but they might not get their whole season just now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's true. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes writers like to cut out stuff that, you know, like us readers, it's like, but that's important, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like with series, though, they get to stick as close to like books as possible
it's
because
more detailed.
They get longer airtime, I guess, compared to like if it's a movie, you have to compile it.
Yeah, I think we should push for that. I think we need to speak that into the existence. So it's going to happen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We gotta at least
if you need
the single dads, you know. We don't see that often. I don't think we see that often.
No, I think it'd be perfect.
Good TV, right?
Yeah, it's usually always like single moms and then, you know, they find love, but we need to flip it a little bit to where it's the single dads.
I think it would be good TV.
We're manifesting that one.
I know. It's going to happen. I know it. We're going to meet again a year from now, and you're going to be like, oh, you're never going to believe this. How many books do you try to publish a year?
Lately, for a few years, I've been doing 4 books a year.
Wow.
That's a lot for me.
Yeah.
Some people do more. Some people do. That's a lot for me. So I'm just going to try to keep that going for as long as I can.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not just like writing. There's more going into it, not just like, oh, you might finish writing it in a month, but there's still other things that you have to do for it to get it out there.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure, for
It
even if
is.
you have a team, I think it's pressure. So I feel like I think like 3 or 4 is like good for
3.
Yeah.
3 would be a little easier. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how long I can keep doing that, but it's going well for now.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I kind of did too many signings, so that kind of made it complicated to feel like I could really pull it off. But I have a kind of slower year maybe this year.
Well, that's
I
good.
keep saying yes to things, so we'll see.
So are there any like subgenres or like tropes that you haven't written that you would want to write in the future?
I've kind of written most of them. I haven't written Brother's Best Friend, so I've got to write that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I need to do like, I don't like even saying this as a term, but reverse age gap. I don't like that. That's like, why is it reverse? Why isn't it just age gap? But you know what I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah,
I think
Those are the only 2.
I think we're trying to. I think there's social media world. I think they're trying to like just say age gap kind of like thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I know you said, and what's his name? The next book, is it Pen? Yeah, I thought I didn't want to. I thought it was Pen.
Yeah.
Other than that project, are there any other projects that you have coming up that you can talk about?
I do have I'm into the next series now.
Oh, fun.
And you will meet 2 of the characters in Pen's book that will be in the next series. It will be a different town, different state, but they will be in the same world.
Okay.
So like spin-off ish, but like yeah. That's always like nice. Like when you're like you're not having to introduce like a whole new kind of world or setting. And stuff.
Yeah.
Curious, would you do like a second generation since everybody has kids anyway?
Yes, maybe. Yeah.
Ooh.
I always ask that because that's kind of like
you do.
Yeah, I always. Well, I mean, if you're gonna be got introduced to the little kids anyway, it's always curious. Like, how are they? How are they gonna be when they're grown adults?
Yeah,
right.
So I know you do, like illustrated cover, like the model cover, and then a discrete cover. Do you have like any special editions out, or do you have any plans to do any special editions?
I have signing editions that I'll have next month at Wild and Windy in Chicago for the 4 single dad playbook books that are out with foil and all the fun things.
I love
and
the
then
foil.
I'm kind of working on one for later on, probably in the year. That is a secret surprise. that one. But yeah, it's not ready yet.
Okay. We'll be patient.
When it comes to like special editions, we're like, is it out yet? Is it?
I know.
We're just like pushy over here. Like we like those like foil things, like the shiny ones.
Yeah,
it's your fault. I didn't know about these things, and then I learned about all these special edition things. I'm like, oh, I need this.
I love illustrated, so I was like, when I saw that, I was like, it's illustrated. Yes. I was like,
I love illustrated.
Yeah, my daughter-in-law did those watercolors.
She did?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh. It's different, than the other illustrated. So it's set apart. So that's
right.
I love that. So with special editions, I ask this all the time once we bring it up. Do you read the physical book? Or no, you'll read it on Kindle.
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah.
I would read a special edition.
Thank you.
Kindle.
Thank you.
I'm the minority.
No, you're the majority.
Well, no, today I'm the minority.
Oh, yeah,
would
today.
read it. I won't.
Yes, today. Yeah, I have. I've got some that I will. If I only have that version of the book, absolutely, I'm going to read it.
There's just something about a physical book and the way it smells. Shh.
You smell the paper. I always give her a hard time. Oh, no. I think I'll be probably first time in a long time that I will be reading an actual physical book because the author took the ebook out, like they unpublished it, so it's just only in paperback, and I was like, why? I don't want to.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'll probably survive.
Yeah.
I read a lot in the middle of the night, so I love eBooks. It's just,
it's easier, and like with all the like the male cover, sometimes it's harder to like bring them out in public. At least with Kindles, like
that's true.
Because like people might have read it, but they'll still like look at you like you're brave for like reading. Like
we know what you're reading,
right? I mean,
maybe that's why I get the Discrete covers.
Yeah.
See, I love some Discrete covers, but if I would choose between Discrete and the model cover, we all know I'll get the model cover. But if there's an illustrated, I'll go for that though. Like the illustration.
Yeah, it's same.
I mean, illustrations now they've gotten creative. I mean, some of them are like, well, you can't really put that out there either.
Yeah.
I think I only have a couple of those that are hiding somewhere.
Those are usually the artwork that goes with the book.
I know.
Yeah.
Like the artwork, at least you can hide them, but there's been, I think there's one book box that's kind of what they do, is just like there's no even dust jacket. It's just like, here you go. And I'm like, I can't exactly.
I can't have those. Yeah. Oh my God. Funny story, side note. So I put this is a new bookshelf, and I was decorating it with my little things. Well, I have one of these that I won. So my son is like, he's laughing. I'm like, what? He's like, I see that. It's nuts. I said, no, it's poop. It's poop. I mean, he's like, it's not poop. I was like, it is.
The color, just not. No. See, this is.
I forgot. I got to put it away.
Thank God I don't have those. But yeah, they're. And I think I
won it.
Have two that are like not safe, but I've been hiding them so far, so it's been good, like to hide them. And I usually just like, if I'm unboxing, if I'm like filming, like wait before I like start filming, because like I'm just like waving it around on video. I was like, oh, I can't do that. Like I need to like actually,
I know,
check the package nowadays before.
Oh my gosh. All right.
So last question. I know you said that you are signing Wild and Windy next month in Chicago. Do you have any other signing events this year or next year that's already planned?
There is at least one bookstore signing. I don't know if it's been announced yet.
Okay.
For sure when it is. It's soon, so hopefully I'll be able to soon. And a possibility for another bookstore later in the year. So a couple of those, which will be fun. But Wild and Windy's the only big signing.
Okay. Well, that's good. At least you stayed true to minimizing those.
I tried, yes.
Is it less stressful when it's like a bookstore versus like kind of like the bigger?
It is. Like they'll have the books for you. You don't have to take them or ship them, which is so nice. It's usually kind of in and out, like no pre-signing deals. And I mean, I love seeing so many people at the bigger signings, but they are stressful too.
Yeah.
I feel like the bigger the event is, the stressful it is.
Yeah.
Because you have to ship all your books for like the big events, right? Like do all the logistics.
Yeah, so it's pricey, and staying in hotel longer, more nights than a bookstore. This one, I'm just going in the morning of, leaving the next day, so it'll just be quick.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get more, like, now that there's more romance only bookstores that are popping up, like more of those can happen, because I feel like that's a little bit less stressful, because they can contain how many people would be there, rather than like if it's a big event, like, you know, like a Polycon or anything like that. That's just like everybody's
more manageable.
Yeah, you're right. They just opened one not that far from me, but my mom's house in Florida. That's nice. They should do that, you know, invite. I think sometimes they do invite some authors in. Yeah,
there's one by me too. I live in Minnesota. There's a really cute one that I've done a signing at before. And they're so sweet and so cute, you know.
That would be awesome, because then you can at least like see different, you know, and majority of the time they always have the indie books, you know, versus like Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that. So that's, you know, if you're like more of like an indie author reader, you get to see all those books that are in the store.
Yeah.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, that would be better. It's like less stressful.
Yeah.
Not just for readers, but also for authors. So.
Right.
True. Yeah, I love seeing them coming up everywhere.
Well, hopefully.
Good idea.
Well, I know there's one here in Montana. So I live in Montana. So, well, hopefully you can come up here. And
I wanted to come to Kristen Proby's doing one in Montana, and I wanted to so bad, but I had a conflict here. I couldn't make that one.
Yeah, that's like 20 minutes away from me. It's in town, so. But I don't think I got the ticket, so it's okay. Hopefully, if they do it again, you know how it goes for this year, then I would. Then I don't have to fly anywhere. I can just drive.
Yeah, right.
It's easier for me to look around books. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Or ship them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was a nightmare to ship. So I can only imagine for like authors where you have to bring hundreds of books.
That's crazy.
Well, that brings us to the end of our episode. It was so much fun having you here. So thank you for making the time.
So fun to be here.
Thank you so much. You know, we appreciate it. And you have a busy schedule. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. And we want to hear back from you once you get that Netflix deal.
No, I really have been trying to.
You'll get there. Let's do it.
We'll do it.
So when you said it, I'm just like, yes.
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, whichever. Like anybody, just get it.
Well, Well, thanks again. And for our listeners, be sure to follow us on our socials and make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any of our episodes. If you have any authors or topics you would like us to discuss, please be sure to send us a message on Instagram under Unfiltered Romance Nights. Well, that's all. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.